Hey, what's up everyone? It's Jimmy Dimmy here, back with another video. And today I want to talk about NBA 2K26's builder. So NBA 2K26's builder, everyone's been, posting their builds and so on and so forth. And I just want to go over a couple things. I guess the main thing to get out the way, like the video, share the video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. But I think the main thing is that I haven't really seen a build that I'm really in love with. I'm mainly a center. I pretty much know what I'm gonna make in terms of, I guess it depends on the builder, but I have a vision on how I want to play the game. I'm not making an inside center. If I make an inside center, it's like towards the very end of the year, and I'm just trying to like mash and spam and stuff like that. But my very first build is definitely going to probably be a stretch. I can't decide if I want to do a lockdown or a stretch, but the main thing is that just everyone's making builds and they're just playing it safe. Again, I understand we don't really know the meta, we don't know the ins and outs of the game yet. 2K could definitely still patch the game on release or shortly after release, and it messes everyone's builds up. I know definitely after that first major patch, end of September, probably sometime in October, that's going to change the game a lot. But a lot of these YouTubers are just like, some of them are decent, but none of it is like And I kind of predicted that this was going to happen in my prediction video. If you caught it, go ahead and check it out if you haven't. But my NBA 2K26 prediction video, I mentioned that for builds in 2K26, that 2K was going to nerf them slightly, and then you can make it up in terms of like cap breakers and stuff like that. I still think that's kind of the case. That's what it's seeming like. But I've also heard people say that you could kind of make the same exact build as 2K25. I hope personally I can make the same exact build, and hopefully he's faster maybe, or taller. It's a positive overall. But yeah, just nothing's really stuck out. The builds that have stuck out, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like grinding. He's made some decent builds. And he's even mentioned that one of his builds for 2K25 was like patch proof. His builds look pretty good, I'm not even gonna lie. So go ahead and check out Grinding's channel. Joe Knows, he made a 611 KD build. That build was actually really nice. I was very surprised on the type of KD build that you can make for 2K26. So if you like making KD builds, this might be the year for you. Honestly, I know there's some people that make KD builds every single year. That's always a popular one. I remember 2K19, I made my very first KD build, and he was 6'9" though. I made him 6'9". I maxed out his wingspan. And then I usually don't do glitches, but I did like the animation glitch, because that was back when you could do Road to 99. And Road to 99, if you guys didn't know, you'd have to wait into a certain attribute, and you didn't really know what attribute it was going to unlock for you. So for example, I think I needed like a 74 or something like that ball handle, or 76 ball handle, in order to get a specific move. But I wasn't able to get that until I think I had to reach like 94 overall, and that was just a crazy grind. Or maybe it was like 98 or something like that. It was insanity the way they did certain builds. Mine was a sharpshooting shot creator, and man, I had so much fun on that build. I felt like KD. I remember one game, it was pretty much 1 versus 3, but I was like going crazy, and this dude got so pissed he lag switched me off the game, and I wasn't able to like save the gameplay or anything. He just lag switched me out because I wasn't passing the ball or whatever. But every time I passed on the ball, he was doing trash. I would end up getting the ball back. I shoot a 3. I was crossing dudes over, yada. Bro, it was so fun. 2K19, I had the best time with the build. So honestly, with 2K26, I'm getting the same type of vibe, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it just from what I've been seeing. But again, we'll see when the game comes out. So the next thing I want to talk about, this is kind of like a hot topic, but I just remember in 2K20 when everyone was putting shooting high at the very beginning. Like everyone was trying to make a stretch big, just like their 2K19 shoot over those, you know. And yeah, everyone was just doing super high shooting. And then as the year went on, people started to normalize very low shooting. I think a two-way, what was it? It was like the two-way playmaking lock or whatever. I don't remember the name right now, but it was like the most popular build in 2K20. That had like a 64, 67 3, and people was able to like spark with that. That was crazy. And you know, everyone was just like, oh yeah, shooting so easy in 2K20. Oh, shooting so easy. Even 2K19 shooting was easy in 2K20 or 2K18. So pretty much that era, 2K18 and 2K20. You get what I'm saying? Very easy to shoot. So the thing I want to bring up is, if shooting is so easy, why is everyone having such high threes on their builds? Why haven't we seen anyone in the community that went to community day shoot with a low 3-point build? And if you have, please point me in their direction so I could look at their video. But that's the first thing I'm going to lab up. And I'm going to try and make a video on that as soon as I possibly can. What is the lowest 3-point rating I could get? Because like I said, if you specialize in a build, so let's just say you want to specialize in shooting, you just need a 60 in order to specialize in a 3 or your midi. So that has to be like the ticket. That has to be like the entry, the floor, however you want to look at it. That's the minimum requirement, I should say, in order to shoot. It has to be a 63. So if that's the case, I'm going to start out my build with a 60 or a 65 and see if I could shoot with it now that we have a pure green window. And again, starting out with this is very, very risky because, you know, we could start out with a 60 and then you really needed a 65, or I guess you could do cap breakers, or if you really need a 75, you know, 2K could do whatever, anything and everything. But that's my main thing. Like, why hasn't everyone's talking about how easy shooting is? Like, this is the easiest shooting 2K in a while. Then why are you putting your 3-point shot at a 90? I've seen so many builds have 85, 90, so on and so forth. Now, I will say that since I brought up an 85-3, I do think 85 in terms of stats in 2K is like a magic number. I don't know what it is, but every single year an 85 and up, usually an 85 is like, okay, you could do this one thing really, really good. Like in early 2Ks, you could be like an NBA player could be an 85 overall and they would get the star icon. So ever since I was a little kid, I was like, okay, I think 85 means like you're actually pretty good. And as time went on, you know, people have an 85-3, and yeah, 85-3 is actually really good, and so on and so forth. So I get it why initially when you make a build you might want to put your 3 to that, but I think the main thing is that what we need to know is like, what's the lowest 3-point shot we could put on our builds so we could make a build that we actually really want to have. So you can have a 65-3, spark it with that. Okay, now I could have a super high dunk, or I could have super high defense, and so on and so forth, you know. But yeah, hey, I've been rambling enough. That's just kind of like my, you know, things that I want to talk about regarding the builder. I really appreciate you guys checking out this video. Again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I can't wait until 2K26 comes out. We got about 5 more days left. So I'm ready, y'all. I already took time off of work. I'm not afraid to admit that. So hopefully the servers are working and all that stuff and we could play. But yeah, no money spent grind coming right around the corner. But love y'all, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.